What's going on, G1 Nation? Welcome to the first episode of Nerdtastic. I'm Sean Hines, and joining me today is Ben Singer.
Hello.
We like to kind of nerd out on things in Nerdtastic. Take some of the biggest stories from the week, or maybe just focus on a single story and just talk it to death. So that's what we're going to do today, Ben.
All right, what are we talking about?
We're going to talk about Warface, because I don't know if you heard, but
the boobies.
Yeah,
the boobies.
Apparently female soldiers have boobies, and they like to share them with everybody. At least they do in Russia.
Do they? Oh, the Russian.
Yes, Russian female soldiers.
Is that how they win wars?
They don't really win wars in Russia.
Yeah.
Except that one that we helped them win, but yeah, we
don't they win wars with their weather. That's
that's how.
But now they got another strategy. They just flash some cleavage.
And so I'm going to read the quote. The article will be in the description of this video, but it's an article on ScrewAttack where a Crytek employee did an interview with Wired magazine, and they talked about the over-sexualized female avatars for the soldiers in the new game Warface. And the quote was that this was a good example of how we see how culturally the different region approaches the same game in different ways. It's the old excuse of like, well, this is just something culturally that maybe Americans wouldn't understand or Europeans might not understand.
Just lay it all out there. Like, personally, I don't really have I'm not a chick, obviously, but I don't really have a problem with over-sexualizing men or women in games. I don't think it's necessarily as big a deal as people make it out to be necessarily, because they are games, they are toys.
They're a work of fiction.
Yeah, so like it's meant to entertain, and it's not meant to take itself so seriously like that.
Sure.
There is a bit of an issue when you try to separate the choices between players. Like, okay, you can, if you're a guy, you can play as a male character, or if you're a girl, you can play as a female character, and then the female characters are obviously designed for guys to play. There's a bit of an issue there.
There doesn't seem, in the interview specifically, there's no mention of the same treatment being used for the male characters. So where, the male characters are generally exactly the same from region to region, the female characters apparently will vary from region to region.
It's so weird to me. Why would, that doesn't make any sense to me.
It's an exception that, like, even in the article themselves, they point to the fact that is right along the same lines as their decision to make the weapon recoil different by region.
And the thing that gets me is I look at a model of the female sniper next to the male sniper. They don't look like they're from the same game.
There's something cartoony about the female avatars with how, disproportionate maybe their body is, plus with, the extra skin showing. I mean, the males are extremely covered, wearing flak jackets, the sniper's got a headgear on, like a ghillie suit, so.
Well, the thing about it is that the gamers, their fan base requested it, right?
That's correct. So according to Crytek, the designs are being made based on fan feedback.
Are they asking about the male characters?
I don't think so. I couldn't find anything to indicate that they were.
So how old is their fan base?
Yeah, I mean, generally it's probably males 14 to 21. I mean, it's a free-to-play game, so already you're looking at a younger audience that doesn't have money.
Newsflash: teenagers like boobs and sex.
Yeah,
surprise.
And that's this is kind of on Crytek. I feel like this decision. Like in 2011, the U.S. military decided to revamp the unisex uniforms and try and make a uniform that fit the body of a female soldier. And that seems like the right place to go do your research, because you can look
for a game like this.
For a game like this, it's
now, if they were trying to make Bayonetta, if they were trying to make something like that, I guarantee we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
Of course not, because I mean, it's Bayonetta. Her freaking hair is what covers her skin. It's the weirdest, most bizarro thing.
Oh, apparently, I read something like I guess still the Russian fans wanted high heels.
And that should have been a red flag to say okay.
Hey, Crytek, I don't think these guys know how military works.
I don't think they're giving you good fan feedback, but
don't think these 14-year-olds have had a whole lot of military experience. They probably don't know what it's like to dress up as a soldier.
You're pandering for the lowest common denominator.
Let's ask them what they want.
You know, the other issue I would take with that is that, like, the overall landscape of games is changing. You know, the ESA put out a report earlier this year that 45% of females are now making the purchasing decisions when it comes to buying a game. 46% are actually participating as gamers. So, like, if Crytek was doing this to encourage a female fan base to start playing the game, they did it in the worst way possible. That's kind of my opinion on it. That's Ben's opinion on it. Why don't you let us know what your opinion on it is in the comments, and you can also maybe suggest a news story for the next episode of Nerdtastic in the comments as well. Be sure to tune in next time. I'm Sean.
I'm Ben.